Hello, welcome to Workable Miniatures. I'm Jim, and tonight we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the CaseMatix Customizable Miniature Storage Case. Let's get started. The CaseMatix box was packaged in a package in another package, to the point that I can probably skip Christmas this year. But all jokes aside, I can't complain about additional protection for the product while in transit. Inside of the case are only 4 things: a random stowaway chunk of foam, and a card requesting feedback on Amazon for the vendor, as well as a way to contact them should you have any gripes. After I filmed this video and finished putting my Guild Ball miniatures in the case, I went and gave them a 5-star review. Spoiler, I'm happy with this product. The remaining items in this case are 2 large trays of pick-apart foam which can be removed. I recommend placing the bottom tray back into the case while it's empty of miniatures. It's a tight fit and you have to hold your tongue right just to get it back in. Each tray has a thin line of foam attached to the bottom. I grab a few of the larger miniatures and immediately note that it can almost fit this 3D printed golem, but his swords and arms are what make him too wide, and not the base. This Dust 1947 Mercenary Squad miniature is a little too tall and way too wide to fit, but Boar from the Butcher's Guild will fit nicely. When it comes to pick-apart foam, it gives you the benefit of customizing blocks for your miniatures, but you have to do some planning if you want to keep armies or units together, and you may also have to plan for where future purchases will go. So I began by laying models out to get a rough idea of how many I can fit per row, and how many rows I can get. And then it's time to rip some hunks out. You want to be mindful to not pull away too much accidentally, and it's better to go at it slow and in a controlled manner. For Boar, I already pulled 1 row too much out for the height, which isn't a big deal. I just peeled 1 layer off from what I removed and slid it right back into place. As I neared the end of the first line, I realized I was 1 row too short when the cut segments of the foam ended, so I used a utility knife and carefully cut a little more away. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I also only removed about half of the foam's depth, leaving the hole shallower, as in this last block I'll be putting in a short dog. This last Butcher's Guild miniature is also pretty short, so to raise the bottom, I took a layer of the foam I removed, cut it down to size, and then gave him some additional padding underneath, so I don't have to reach into the block as deep in order to fish him out. Once all the Guild Ball miniatures are given a home, I turn to all the blocks of foam I pulled out. What the hell do I do with these now? Do I keep them in case I have to redo the sizing if I organize them later? Can I use them for other storage boxes? You know what, screw it, the scrap's going in the trash. I'm hanging on to enough stuff I'll probably never use. One minor thing to note is the 2 holes near the handle where you can put small locks. Granted, the case is plastic and the lock won't keep anyone out should they steal the entire case, but if you're traveling, it may keep someone from sneaking away with 1 or 2 of your miniatures while you're not looking. So, how do I feel about the original Xbox? CaseMatix? I'm a fan. Compared to the previous case I reviewed, the Feldherr storage box, this would only hold about half the miniatures of that at best, but this case can hold larger miniatures. The pick-apart foam, though expensive, allows for better fits for your miniatures as well. With that said, the Feldherr storage system, they offer larger boxes for larger miniatures as well. I just don't happen to own one right now. My only concern, and it may not be warranted, is the thin foam bottom of each of these trays. I may glue a sheet of thin cardboard to the bottoms, just add a little more reinforcement. I'm just a little afraid that if I fill this tray with large heavy metal miniatures, the foam glued to the bottom might yield to their weight. As for the miniatures that would not fit in the previous Feldherr case, the 3 Sophies can fit in this one if I wanted to pull some foam for them. So too could the magical Deus and the She-Hulk with her 50mm base. However, the 65mm Ghost Rider base and Miss Marvel base will not fit. Neither would the Hanging Cage, the Mice and Snowmen, or the Dragon. Those will have to remain homeless for now. As a side note, almost all Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures are 50mm bases or smaller, so they should fit in this case. Only half a dozen or so are too large. Ultimately, I believe this to be a good storage case for miniatures, particularly if you have something unit or army based such as Warhammer or Dust 1947 or Marvel Crisis Protocol. And the two drawbacks are the cost and that you can't put as many miniatures in this case as you can in some of the cheaper ones. It's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you learned something or influenced to purchase or not purchase this CaseMatix storage case. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you like the content of this video and would like to see more, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Jim with Working with Miniatures. I'm truly grateful for your time, and I bid you a fond farewell. Until the next video.